Say Something. So I decided to call the album that because, I felt like there were so many years that I had, all these ideas and bits of songs and things I've collected and been working on, and I just never had the opportunity to share them or let the world hear them. So that was one reason, because it was my turn to say something. And the other thing was, I felt, there was a time in my life when things were changing, relationships were changing, how I thought about myself in the world was changing, all for the better. It was kind of like a time to get them all down and to say it to myself and acknowledge that better things are coming.
Shout, scream, just tell me that you love me. Oh yeah.
I feel really fortunate to be working with Do Right on the release of Say Somethin. I feel like they're the perfect label for me because they're true champions of soul music in Canada, and they have their finger on the pulse of soul music around the world.
Say something. Say something. Say you got it.
I was born and raised in East Vancouver. I love that part of our country and my city. It's a really vibrant, colorful neighborhood and really inspiring. When I'm not making music of my own, I direct 3 of the choirs at the Sarah McLachlan School of Music, 2 youth choirs and 1 voice ensemble. It's a lot of fun and it's a great place to be. The students are really engaged and the staff and Sarah are really fantastic. When I was working on this project and starting to write for the album, I struggled with how to tastefully mesh all of my favorite styles of music and make them blend well together. I have my degree in jazz studies, so I was really intrigued by a lot of the jazz harmony and some of those sensibilities. I've been studying lots of funk and really loving that. And then there's the music of the time, right? So Anthony Hamilton, D'Angelo, Erykah Badu, all those greats of the neo-soul movement. And so my goal was to try to mix and blend who I am with what I listen to and also try and roll it up into some kind of dynamic, modern sound.
Thank you!
When we began the recording process, Mike Southworth, who produced the album, him and I decided that we wanted to create more of a live setting and have the flexibility to work with everybody in the same room at the same time, instead of just, laying down bed tracks, 1 instrument at a time. And I think this worked really well for the album, kind of gave it a bit more of a organic, feel to it, and there's way more room to breathe and stretch and change the arrangements as we went along. I think that being together in that way just kind of creates a beautiful feeling. No matter what you're doing, it's like we're in this together. It allowed for a lot of great magical moments to happen.
Let's go deeper, dive in feet first. Let's go deeper, baby, let's go. Let's get deep, let's go deeper, dive in feet first. Let's go deeper, baby, let's go. Let's get deep.
Deeper is the first single off the album, and it's really groovy, a great showcase for the horns, and great trumpet solo at the end. Say Somethin is, of course, the title track of the album, And it's one of my favorites because the groove is just too groovy. And it's a slow burn. It really just kind of cooks and boils right along. And then it has this amazing guitar solo by Gavin Youngash, and I love it. Feels good to sing. Don't Waste Your Time is one funky little gem of a tune on the album, and it's a la Tower of Power, King Curtis.
Don't mind the whispers behind your back. It ain't your fault what they lack. Maybe their mama.
I had a lot of people in my life who were giving me grief at one point, and I just was like letting it get me down. And so don't let those suckers waste your time. And that's kind of how I wrote the tune.
Their chins and look at you with that stupid grin. Don't you pay them no mind. Don't let the suckers waste your time. Don't you pay them no mind. Don't waste your time.
For You is one of the ballads on the album. It's jazzier, a little vibier, but still has a few twists and turns. I wrote the song because I was thinking about the relationships that we have where we sacrifice ourselves and give ourselves to the other person, and sometimes we get nothing in return. That's what love is. Love is sacrifice, and sometimes you pay a price for that sacrifice. So it's just kind of exploring that.
I change like the seasons, shifting like the sands, crash myself upon endless shores, stop time with my hands.
When we recorded it, it had such a great response that Do Right thought that it should be the album opener. It kind of blossoms with this great, warm sound, and it worked. A few years back, I had the honor and privilege to work with Linda Tillery and her Cultural Heritage Choir. These men and women taught me a lot about soul music, about music of the African diaspora. She's been a fantastic mentor in my life. She is a skilled percussionist and singer, arranger in her own right, and she just slays everything she does, and I really look up to her. So when talking to John Kong at Do Right Music, he said, "Oh, you should do this tune, Linda, and this tune is really popular, and I heard it, and I was like, yeah, this is great. And I thought, what a beautiful way to pay tribute to someone who's made such an impact in my life. So that's Freedom Time. And I think the content of the song, calling for people to rise up, is still a message that needs to be heard today.
Thank you.
Do It To It is one of the bubbliest, funkiest tunes on the album. And it's kind of, I think of it as the party song, the one that you just jam to, you put it on when you're getting ready to go out. It's a phrase that Linda Tillery used to say. She'd say all right, do it to it, and it just kind of means make it happen, do your thing, or in this case, it was kind of okay, get gone, do it to it, bye-bye. You made the decision that you wanted to leave, so leave. I'm not stopping you. The Say Somethin album release party was fantastic. It was more than I could have imagined. Beautiful venue at Fortune Sound Club, sold out show, packed to the rafters, could barely move in there. And I think it was a great moment for me and the band, and also just for soul music in Vancouver. The band is just sounding so great, and I'm really looking forward to taking them on the road with me very soon.